A cold drizzle softened the city lights the night Serafina Hale stepped off the bus, one hand pressed against her lower back, the other clutching the strap of a faded canvas tote. 7 months pregnant, exhausted and shivering, she paused beneath the flickering street lamp outside the glass tower of Axton Industries. She had no business being there, no appointment, no invitation, no hope, really just desperation. Stitched with the faintest thread of courage, her phone buzzed with a low battery warning. She tucked it into her coat, inhaled deeply, and stepped forward. Inside the building, warmth wrapped around her instantly, making her throat tighten with relief. The lobby smelled faintly of cedar and clean linen, and her steps echoed softly on the marble. The security guard behind the desk glanced up, eyebrows lifting at the sight of her swollen belly and soaked clothes. "Ma'am, may I help you?" he asked, voice gentle. Serafina swallowed. I need to speak with Mr. Axton, just for a moment." The guard's expression shifted sympathy mixed with resignation. "Mr. Axton doesn't take unscheduled visitors, especially this late." She expected that. She'd rehearsed this moment for days, playing out the rejection, the confusion, the way she would be escorted back out into the cold. "Still," she whispered, "please, it's important." Before the guard could respond, the elevator chimed. A man and woman stepped out, both in their mid-50s, polished, confident, their conversation low and businesslike. The woman held a sleek folder. The man adjusted the lapel of his coat. "Evening, Marcus," the guard greeted. Marcus Axton nodded. "Late night, just locking down." The guard hesitated a moment before gesturing toward Serafina. "She's looking for Mr. Axton." Marcus and the woman turned. Serafina's breath caught. The resemblance was unmistakable. Sharp jawline, smooth silver streak in his dark hair, eyes that radiated a quiet authority. He was the father of Lucian Axton, the man she had once known in ways she wished she could forget. Marcus's gaze sharpened. "Do we know each other?" "No, sir," she murmured, lowering her head. "But Another voice cut in, from behind Marcus as the elevator doors slid open again. "What's the holdup?" Lucian Axton stepped out, coat draped over one arm, tie loosened. Billionaire CEO, brilliant strategist, cold, guarded, unreadable. Except for the eyes charcoal blue and piercing. They locked onto Serafina, and for a moment, time seemed to freeze. Her chest tightened, her knees weakened. She felt her heartbeat in her ears. Lucian took a slow step forward. "Serafina?" She nodded, throat too tight for words. Marcus glanced between them. "You know her?" Lucian didn't answer. His eyes had dropped, not to her face, not to her belly, but to her wrist. Her sleeve had slipped back, exposing a small tattoo, a delicate crescent moon wrapped around a vine of tiny stars. Serafina felt the air shift. Lucian's pupils widened, his jaw clenched, and he inhaled sharply as though he'd just been punched. That tattoo. He'd seen it before, once, in one moment from a night he had buried so deeply he had convinced himself it hadn't mattered. A night he had spent months searching for afterward. A night that left him with the taste of regret and the echo of a woman's laughter he'd never forgotten. Marcus cleared his throat. "Lucian?" But Lucian took another step towards Serafina, his voice low. "Why are you here?" Her hand instinctively moved to cover her belly, as though that might protect the life inside from the weight of his stare. "I didn't know where else to go," she whispered. The woman beside Marcus Elaine, Lucian's stepmother, softened. "Dear, do you need medical help?" Serafina shook her head quickly. No, I'm fine. I need to speak to Lucian. Alone, if that's possible. Lucian's expression tightened in a way only Serafina seemed to notice, controlled but shaken. Marcus exchanged a look with Elaine, and without another word, they stepped aside toward the exit. "Lock up when you're done," Marcus murmured to his son. When the lobby quieted, Lucian stepped closer, his voice a low murmur. "You vanished. No phone, no address, nothing. And now you show up here pregnant." Her eyes burned. "I didn't vanish. I had to leave." "Why?" His tone sharpened. "And why come to me?" She hesitated, fingers trembling against her belly. "Because I didn't know who else to trust, and because I'm running out of time." Lucian's jaw flexed. "Time for what?" Her eyes lifted to his, glossy with fear she could no longer hide. "For the truth." The elevator doors slid shut behind Marcus and Elaine with a soft clang, and the sound echoed through the empty lobby. Lucian exhaled slowly. "Come upstairs." She followed him into the executive elevator. The doors closed, sealing them into silence. She felt the hum of motion beneath her feet, the warmth of the enclosed space, the thick tension between them. Lucian turned toward her. "Is the baby—" Her breath shuddered. "Don't ask that here." The elevator slowed, and when the doors opened, he gestured for her to step into his private office, lit softly by wall sconces, neatly organized, the scent of bergamot lingering in the air. Serafina walked in, her legs unsteady. Lucian closed the door behind them. Then he faced her fully, voice low, steady, but laced with something raw. "Serafina, look at me." She raised her eyes, and with a quiet, trembling breath, she whispered, "It's about the tattoo, and the night we met, and everything you were never supposed to know." The room fell into a profound, bone-deep stillness. Then Lucian whispered, "Tell me." Lucian didn't move, didn't blink. He stood perfectly, still, hands slipping gently into his pockets, the way he always did when bracing himself for something that mattered too much. Serafina could see it, the tension in his shoulders, the storm behind his eyes, the longing he wouldn't dare name. She took a slow breath. "The night we met, it wasn't supposed to happen." His voice was barely a whisper. "It happened." She nodded, gaze dropping to the floor. "And it changed everything for me, more than you knew, more than I let myself admit." She paused, gathering courage. "But I didn't tell you my real name that night. I didn't tell you anything real at all." Lucian's jaw tightened. "You didn't have to. I spent months trying to find you anyway." Her eyes widened. "You did?" "Of course I did." His voice wavered just enough to reveal the truth beneath his control. "I went back to that place 3 times. I asked the staff. I even checked the security logs. You were just gone." Serafina's throat tightened. "I know, and I'm sorry. I never wanted to be a mystery, not to you." She rubbed her belly, the motion slow and protective. "I was running from someone who didn't want this baby born." Lucian's eyes sharpened instantly. "Who?" She flinched at the memory. Nikolai Mercer. The name landed between them like shattered glass. Lucian stepped closer. "Serafina, that man is dangerous. You should have come to me." She shook her head, tears gathering. "I thought I could disappear on my own. I thought if I kept you out of it, you'd stay safe." Her voice trembled. "But I was wrong. He found me again last week." Lucian's face paled, rage simmering beneath the surface. "Did he hurt you?" "No, but he made it clear he won't stop until he gets what he wants." She swallowed, trembling. "And what he wants is the baby." Lucien stood frozen for a heartbeat. Then everything changed. He stepped forward and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder, a touch so careful, so protective, it nearly broke her. "Serafina, why would he come after your child?" Her breath caught. This was the moment she feared, the truth she had been carrying alone for months. "Because this baby?" She lifted her head, meeting his eyes with trembling resolve. "Lucien, this baby isn't his." A silence so deep it felt like gravity pulled the air from the room. Lucien stared at her, every emotion colliding at once: shock, hope, fear, disbelief, and something rawer than all of them. "Then whose is it?" he whispered. Serafina's lips trembled. A single tear slid down her cheek. "It's yours." Lucien exhaled, the sound breaking out of him like he'd been holding his breath for months. His hand moved from her shoulder to her cheek, thumb catching the tear before it fell. "Mine," he repeated, voice unsteady. "Serafina, why didn't you tell me?" "Because I didn't know how to keep you safe," she whispered. "Or him." Lucien shook his head slowly, stepping even closer. "You don't have to keep me safe. You just have to let me in." Her breath hitched. "And the tattoo?" he asked softly. Serafina looked down at her wrist, the crescent moon, the stars, the same mark from the night they shared. "It was the only part of that night I could hold on to," she whispered. Lucien reached for her hand, lifting her wrist gently. He pressed his forehead to hers. "You should have come sooner," he breathed. "But you're here now, and I'm not letting you face this alone." She closed her eyes, tears falling freely. "I'm scared," she confessed. Lucien's hand moved protectively to her belly. "Then let me be scared with you," he said. "We'll face him together." Serafina exhaled a shaking breath. For the first time in months, she felt safe.